Ladies and gentlemen, everyone, welcome once again back to the ABJ Podcast. It's going to be episode 3. I'll bring my guest in one moment. But before we get into any of that, let's get the quick housekeeping out of the way. For myself and my guest, all links will be in the description of this episode, whether you're listening on an audio platform. We're now on all your favorite audio platforms, whether it be Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Google Music. You can even find us on iHeartRadio and Pandora. So we've really stretched out there. If you are listening on any of those platforms, hit that 5-star review. It helps us out more than you think. And if you're able to write a review, please do so. Starting next week, we're going to start putting the opportunities to leave a review, and we're going to read those reviews on the next episode towards the beginning before we let our guest in, just so we get some cool interaction with you guys to let us know what you're thinking of the podcast. So the support has been amazing. Also, the links below, you can follow me on all social media, as well as join our Discord. We just created a Discord community. I'm sorry, my throat's messed up. I had a lot of commentary this weekend. Anyway, join our Discord. We have a lot of cool opportunities to meet new people and join our community and talk wrestling, video games, movies. We do cool things in the private rooms where you can go live and turn your cameras on and see each other, and we watch movies and, well, not movies, but we watch cool things and hang out. So make sure you check us out and follow us on all social media. But without further ado, let's bring our guest in today. What's going on?
What's up, bro? How are you, man?
Good. Let the people know who you are.
I'm a nobody who did nothing from Mississippi. No, I'm Chuck. I'm one of the owners of Wrestling Over Everything.
And we both came to the concert wearing the band's T-shirt, which I appreciate. You know,
yes,
I also have the hat on, but I like to wear it backwards. So I do like the new brim thing, like the brim. That's a cool look.
We got 3 colors of those on the website.
Really? Yeah, you see the camo one and stuff like that. Yeah, you got the Pride logo. You guys are killing it. So I first heard of you guys from a guy I've been traveling the road with for a while. Philly Mike Swanson was rocking one of your, I think your mesh shorts and stuff. And then I seen you started sponsoring someone who I'm a really big fan of. Future, hopefully, fingers crossed, future Impact World Champion in Masha Slamovich, female world champion.
Awesome.
But let's get into how this company started and kind of the backstory behind it.
So long story short, I was trained by a guy named Jay Andrews in Mississippi and John Davis from Dark City Fight Club. And my mom's favorite wrestler growing up was Lex Luger until she met John. And then John became her favorite wrestler. And when my mom got sick and she passed away, like, me and John were trying to figure out how or what to do about trying to honor my mom's memory. And a couple years before my mom passed, I was talking to Ray Fury, and he was like, "Hey, I want to do a shirt that's like Ray Fury Wrestling Over Everything type thing." And I was like, "We should definitely start a T-shirt company and use that as like the name of it." I was like, "That is dope."
Yeah.
Sidebar, I'm a huge fan of Matt Cross.
Okay.
And, Wrestling is Forever. I was like, I'm a huge fan of it and stuff like that. And I was like, this is meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
So me and Fury kicked it back and forth, and he was like, "Man, I just don't have the time to do a T-shirt company." And so I pitched it to John right after my mom died, and he's like, "Yeah, well, let's do it." So that's kind of where it came from. That's where it all began. It was like to honor my mom.
Now, has she always been into pro wrestling? Did she get you into it?
Yeah, since I was 4, we would every Saturday night we would watch WCW on TBS, and we only had a TV with 12 channels, and I had to go up there and press 13. So we would that's where it all started.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of the territory stuff, and boy, you guys, you all down south, you guys love your wrestling. You guys take it real serious, doing blowgun darts and trying to stab the heels. It's
oh yes, they did. I remember my mom. She was like 4'11". She'd sit on the edge of the couch when Lex Luger was in there. It didn't matter if he was a good guy, bad guy. and she would just scream, "Flexi Lexi is so sexy." And my mom was like this straight-laced Pentecostal lady that did not like sexy's not a word.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever heard my mom cuss the entire time I've been alive. And she would start yelling it, and it was the greatest thing ever. I'd bring people over just on Mondays and Thursdays so they could hear my mom. It's the only time she ever acted out of character. So
I had a friend's mom. She got into wrestling. Well, she only watched wrestling because me and my buddy did, and she was the same way with Lex Luger. Lex Luger did some things to some ladies, you know.
yes,
brought the sin out of them, you know.
Yes.
In the chat we have. Yeah. Oh, really? You met him?
Yeah, I got to meet him, tell him the story of my mom and stuff, and he you know, like he's big into religion or Christianity and stuff now, and like he said a prayer for me and my oldest boy and stuff like that. It was super cool.
That's
it was
awesome.
like, it's pretty awesome that like you get to tell me this story and all that. So
yeah, the beautiful thing about this business and wrestling in general is just finding your community, finding your tribe, finding that like-mindedness. Ben in the chat said, "Hey ABJ," but the reason I kind of alluded to what I just said is because in the chat, CR Media, they do great content. I actually do some content with him. He's in Kansas. I'm in Pennsylvania. Right. You're in Mississippi.
Yep.
I met him via the internet through wrestling. And when I told him I was doing this interview with you, he was excited because he owns your merch. Like, he has your stuff. So like, it's so crazy. We're on all different sides of the country, and we're all brought together by wrestling.
He probably got to meet Paula. She takes our stuff all over the place. If I'm at a show, she's at a show. Mm-hmm. And her kids live in Kansas, so she would go to Journey Pro every time Journey Pro would have a show.
That might be it. Yeah, I'm sure he'll let us know in the chat. And
so she goes. If I can't, like I said, if I can't go, she does go.
Yeah, it's got to be dope, man. You're like, you know, you created this company in honor of your mom and in honor of the business that she loved and that you got involved in. And now here we are, people in 3 different states, and that's just the ones we're talking about now. We're not talking about everybody else who are you know, honoring your mom and probably don't even know it. You know?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We I don't know if you saw, but we just came out with the small package shirt.
I did not see that one.
All right, so it's it's basically, it says big things come in small packages.
Oh yeah, I do see that.
In the center of it is the small package, like the move.
Mm-hmm.
And it was I was talking to John about it, and like he sent me this picture that he had designed, and I was like, "This is my mom," captioned in like a wrestling shirt.
Yeah,
and because she always told me that small things come and our dynamite comes in small packages, and because I always told her she couldn't beat me up because I was taller than her and all this stuff. So she was like, "I'll hit you with a broomstick. Just remember, dynamite comes in small packages." So John made the shirt design. We just released it like 2 weeks ago, I think.
And she said dynamite comes in small packages, and you have the Russian dynamite on you. Look at this. The connections are all there. Dudes at ringside hanging out with us. Also, bought his merch from Joni Pro. Paula is the shit, sweetest lady. And wrestling over everything is awesome. So is ABJ. Appreciate you, dudes at ringside. I'll be with them on Friday this week. So if you guys want to check out their page, I'll be getting interviewed. It's weird to be on the other side of the microphone. But yeah, so you got, you know, how long were you guys around before you start reaching out and doing sponsored athletes?
So I did what most people do when they're starting a business, you know, like you try to find the most famous people you can find to put your stuff on. And some of the guys put it out there, you know, they would take pictures. I don't understand why it's hard just to snap a picture and tag somebody, because it doesn't seem hard to me. But some people did it, some people didn't. Savannah Evans and Masha were the first 2 ladies that I reached out to. And Savannah said, of course, and Masha had her plate full of sponsors and stuff like that, and we met her in Dallas at New Texas Pro. She was wrestling Brian Keith.
Okay.
And we met her. I did the little 2-question interview that I do. And at the show, we sat there and talked for a while, and she was like, kind of want to do this. When I saw that she had Wrestling of Everything tattooed on her finger, is when I started reaching out to her, and I sent her shirts. She took pictures. Like my youngest, her name's Callie, or not youngest, my middle kid, Callie. She was like, I love her. And she got to meet her, and she was just in awe of her.
Yeah,
And
so was I.
Like Masha's super sweet outside of like if you get her away from trying to kill people in death matches and stuff. She sent a video to her, wishing her good luck because she had surgery a couple months ago. And like she just is in such awe of the fact that Masha took the time out to talk to her and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's good people, man. I'm a fan of hers, and trust me, if you need a reason to watch Impact Wrestling, Masha Slamovich is definitely one of those that you should be watching, and just seeing her stuff on the independent scene, stuff she did at Camp Leapfrog when I was working there. She's a megastar, man. She's super cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I know you said you're looking for famous people, but if you're ever interested, I know this dude, he's not very famous. He has longer hair, looks kind of like Jesus, a little fat though, but he would be a great commentator guy that you can do. I don't know. I'll put you in touch with him. We'll talk later.
I was thinking like Silent Bob, but I mean...
I'll take Silent Bob. Silent Bob. That's why I got into podcasting was Kevin Smith. I even sold all of my stuff to pay for it. That's a true story. But I get fat Mark Wahlberg a lot too.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Just not as handsome.
I mean, you're way hotter than him, but I can
see that. Look at that, buttering me up. Listen, let's sign the paperwork. What else you got here?
So, I was telling you earlier, I had a weird dream.
Oh yeah, let's hear about this. You had a Masha dream.
All right. So I haven't been slept. I don't sleep a lot, and when I get super sleep deprived, I have weird dreams. And me and Masha had a death match.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it was awful. The only thing I remember before I died was I was elbowing her in the face, and then I died.
And then she sprung up and
she killed me. And I sent her the message. I was like, I think I have a death wish, and she was like, "Yeah, you do."
Yeah, when she wrestled her boyfriend or her partner, I mean, they killed each other and they like each other.
Yeah, look. Well, we saw them have the death match in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
It was
sponsored a tag match with Brian Keith. Great dude, great mind for the business.
Yes.
And then someone said if Adam Cole and Kevin Owens had a man-child, that would be me. They're my two favorite wrestlers right now.
I get it.
Yeah. So who else are some sponsored athletes that are on your roster?
So we've got David Ali. We got Heather Monroe. Anthony Henry, Amber Young, of course, John Davis, Brittany, I just went lost on her last name, Brittany Brooks. She's from Arizona. She's young in the business. Billy Starks, Savannah Evans, Akira, Colby.
I love Colby King. Colby, another guy, PA guy. Love him to death.
Marcus Mathers, JD Jenkins. He's from Mississippi. He does MMA fighting and wrestling. I'm trying to remember everybody because there's like 112 and I can't remember everybody. Jared Fritz, he's a referee out of North Carolina. He refs for NWA.
Oh, nice.
Got Man Bun.
Probably one of my favorite in it because she models herself and she's in the space I'm in this business of wrestling is Sam Laterna. She does the backstage interviews. She does her own vlog, her own podcast, her own interviews, and she's also a great commentator. I got to work with her one time on commentary. She is awesome. She's a gangster, man. She's really good. Another very sweet person.
Callie loves her too.
Yeah. Very, very talented. I think it's called The T with Sam Laterna. If you search her on YouTube as well as Twitter, she's on there. Does great work.
Did I miss out on anybody? I'm gonna be so upset at myself if I can't. I knew you were gonna ask me this question, and I thought I had them all in my head.
If we miss people, we still love you. And
Alexander Gold, he's from Arkansas.
Are you trying to get one in every state?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that for sure.
That'd be fun.
I think that's everybody. I had it written down and I looked at it before I got on here and I'm just sorry for everybody else.
Now you said you trained before. Are you still active or you've stepped away from that?
I wrestled for 5 years. I quit in 18, I think. 8, yeah.
So right before the pandemic?
Concussions was the reason why I quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one I had lasted like 5 days, and I was like, I'm over this.
Yeah.
I did not get paid enough to get hit in the head.
Mm-hmm. Now, were you someone who took a lot of crazy bumps?
No, I have a face that people like to punch.
Yeah.
August Artois. Forgot. I was trying to think of the Kelsey Reagan.
We're just gonna be doing the podcast, and you're gonna be like, "This person," just throw it in.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. I'm gonna remember everybody. Everybody's gonna pop in my head.
Yeah. Now, what is the scene like in Mississippi in the independent wrestling scene? None.
There is no scene. No scene.
That's upsetting.
No scene.
So
It's awful.
What's the furthest you have to travel to go see a show?
There's three shows or three companies in Mississippi that maybe four. There's EPW in North Mississippi. They do a lot of stuff with Hollywood or wrestling of Hollywood, but it's wrestling of Memphis. It's the Memphis version of it.
Yeah.
They do stuff there. There's Battle Zone, which is Central Mississippi. There's BIW, Bayou Independent Wrestling. They wrestle in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas. And on the coast, there's Diamond Championship Wrestling. They bring in some guys and stuff, but those are really the closest four.
Yeah.
But we're usually in Georgia or Texas.
Wow. Yeah, that's insane to me living in Pennsylvania because between PA, which is like you're 2 to 3 hours away from anything. Like in 3 hours, I can be in Jersey, I could be in New York, I could be in Pittsburgh, I can be in Philly. Wrestling is just huge in the Northeast area.
Just like you were talking the last time I talked to you, we talked about beer. And how like there's all those breweries. No,
not even Mississippi.
I mean, there's one that's close.
I feel like Mississippi would be big on spirits like moonshine and whiskey and just like stuff like that.
There's like two distilleries I know of, and like 2 or 3 breweries maybe.
Wow. Yeah, I spent a lot of my time at the at Tony Deppin's brewery, Pilgrim. That's like 15 minutes from my house. I'm there all the time.
I just remembered somebody else.
Go ahead.
Kayla Sparks.
Okay.
God, I cannot. This is awful. I feel like a horrible human being.
You have a lot of people, man. That's awesome.
I do. I can't remember everybody. And I feel awful.
They're all rocking your brand. Now, what are some plans of the future, or what do you want to accomplish with Wrestling Over Everything?
So we actually just worked out a deal with IWTV.
That's my favorite.
We are dropping a commercial. I think this weekend that'll run through Christmas. August Artois, my homeboy, he did the whole commercial and stuff. He did the voiceovers. He put it all together, all that stuff for us.
Now, what is he doing now that Control Your Narrative isn't really a thing right now?
He's still all over Florida.
Yeah. I was actually going to be probably meeting him because Control Your Narrative was going to do a 2 or 3 show run with a promotion I do in Pennsylvania. But once Braun got signed, it all kind of went away.
Yeah. He's still wrestling. He does a lot of stuff in Georgia too.
He has a good look. I like his look a lot.
District of Atlanta, I think that's the name of the company.
Yeah.
They actually are having a show the 27th. He'll be on it. Last time he was there, he threw a fireball in somebody's eyes, and I think they're having a blindfold match.
Nice. Yep, that's how you do that. The old Jake the Snake.
It's pretty awesome.
Now, how far have you traveled now across the country with this business and going to different shows?
We have North Carolina's the farthest I've actually drove for a show. We drove 12 hours, turned around and drove home.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the way we usually do it is we drive up there, turn around and drive back.
Yeah. What have some of your favorite places have been so far? Like, where you like the scene's just really cool, the crowd's really into it.
Mission Pro and Thunder's company.
Yeah,
their fans and the way they run their show, like it was top notch. PWX in North Carolina. It was top notch. We really haven't been to any places that was like super like awful.
Yeah.
But we always do better the second time we're at a place. But when we went to Mission, they just accepted us and with open arms and wanted to help us as much as possible. Warrior Wrestling was super cool. That's probably been my favorite show to go to as a fan and watch and sell out.
That's in Texas, right?
No, Warriors in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. That's right. That's right. Chicago. Didn't they? I think they just did a match with Tessa Blanchard and Darius Carter, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not.
If that's the same Warrior, because I comment and said we're Warriors of Wrestling. Let me see.
No, that's different. Warriors Wrestling is different.
Warriors of Wrestling is in Staten Island, New York. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Warrior Wrestling, like they had the one that we got to go to. We got to see the Workhorsemen wrestle the Briscoes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's probably my favorite tag team match I've ever watched in person.
Yeah.
Like live at a show.
The Briscoes are crazy.
Amazing.
They're insane.
Yes. And Anthony and JD are insane. Like, it was like the hardest hitting match I've watched as a tag match.
Who are some of your favorites on the scene right now? Watching, whether it could be TV or just independents.
I love Anthony Henry. Is him, John Davis, Colby, and I'm not just putting them out there because they're like our guys or anything like that. But
I mean, you picked them for a reason. You like their work.
Yeah, like you meet these guys that they should be millionaires and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And like, there's 4 dudes right there that should be millionaires.
Yeah. I would love to have a conversation with Colby because I only ever like gave him a hi, thank you backstage at a show once, and I never really sat and picked his brain. But I would love to sit and talk to him. I know his what is it to him relation wise? She was a trainer at WWE. She wrestled for a while.
Isn't that his aunt?
His aunt. She's amazing too. I watched her do a seminar and she beat the garbage out of these dudes. They were like throwing up. They were ready to die. She's like, listen, gentlemen, this is what you do if you show up at a TV company. You better be this good. Yeah. Like,
I'll get you his information.
Okay.
I'll be your olive branch, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like we kind of came from the same places, with the sanctuary because he worked sanctuary a while, especially in his younger days. But yeah, I would love to really pick his brain and talk to him about because like it's just so crazy how much the indie scene has evolved. It's I love it, man. Like. I know when people go to like WWE Live or AEW or these bigger companies, but man, there's something special about the indie scene where like where the talent walk around and they talk to you and you don't like, even though there's a meet and greet table, it's not like a con where if you walk up and you're not looking to buy an 8x10, like they'll still have a conversation with you. Like it's so laid back. And I think that's such an intimate way to meet some of your favorites and then find some favorites that will probably be on TV one day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like the WWE, like, you know, even if you go to a WWE Live event and you're sitting outside the gate and like they will only talk to you through the gate.
Yeah.
And like they might sign something if you're a cute kid, they'll sign something for you or whatever. But like
it's so closed off.
Yeah, we when Jarrett was doing his Global Force stuff, we went to one of the baseball tour things. They were here and we got to hang out with Gallows and whatever the lady was, Amber.
Yeah,
we got to hang out when they were still married, and we drank so much at Twin Peaks. So when they come to Jackson, we always go and hang out and stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God, Gallows is a trip. He is a funny human being.
He chopped me sitting at the table. I was sitting there talking, and he never saw that I was looking. He went to chop me, and I was he was like, "Don't bitch up, bro. Take this guy." I was like, have you seen your hands?
Yeah. So, yeah, always be careful when you're on wrestlers, man. You never leave your chest open.
No.
That's problematic. Yeah, that's problematic. Yeah, he's super cool. He's another one I watched do a seminar, and it was really cool to see because I'll never step between the ropes. That's not my deal. Plus, my joint disorder will not allow it. But I do love, like, if there's seminars, I like to go and kind of peep them and just kind of see what the talent goes through, just so I can be like, oh man, that's fun. There actually is a con coming up in December I'm going to be like the MC of, and they're doing like a seminar before the con, and that's going to be more geared to like backstage interviews and commentary and stuff. Kevin Kelly's going to run it, which is kind of cool because not that, like that's aspect of the independent scene, like being the broadcast person or the backstage person. There's really no like blueprint, and there's really no one to like coach or guide you. It's just kind of like, I bought a backstage curtain and I have my own stuff. Can I just do this backstage? And they'll be like, sure. It's going to make, like, we don't have that here. So cool. Do that for us,
That's it. And it's all about getting yourself out there however you can do it.
Yeah.
Because there's no blueprint for any of it. Or like anything that is not in the ring, there is no blueprint.
Yep. Like, cameramen who never touched a camera before in their life, they're just like,
you're throwing shit against the wall and hoping and you just go with what sticks and you keep going with it.
It's such a beautiful art.
It is. It's and that's all we do, like for us, if I put our logo on something and it doesn't sell, all right, well, I'm not putting it on that again.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that we give away, like door prizes, or that's the stuff my kid wears.
Yeah.
My oldest. And I'm like, hey, take this and wear this, kid.
Yeah. So what are some items that people can get from you with the brand?
So we got a couple of joggers left. They didn't do what I thought they would do. I thought the joggers would sell better.
I think right now is a season that joggers will probably pick up.
Well, all I've got left is extra large and 2Xs because they didn't sell last winter.
Extra large and 2Xs joggers aren't selling in wrestling world? That's all people wear at shows.
Ain't it weird?
You should do those. What are they called? The Zuba pants or whatever? Zuba's pants. You should do some spoof Zubas. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's like the wrestling the gimmick.
And sports bras didn't sell like I thought they would.
Yeah.
I was like, all these women wrestlers, like, wear them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're wearing gear. Masha wrestles in hers when she wrestles for
UCF or the Ultimate Combat Fighting.
Yeah, where she's the champion.
Yep.
She wears that in her the gi pants.
Yep. Yes. So I was at their second show they've ever did, and I was helping out backstage. They're really good people, and they actually just partnered up with my buddies over at High Tension Wrestling, so they're going to put more shows on, which I'm a big fan of. It's a mix between professional wrestling and mixed martial arts. It's like the blood sport, but actually in a cage. They do a really good job. But the one night they're like, well, we need somebody to go out and play a corner man with Masha because Smokes is just crazy, and he's not going to play corner man. He's just going to be Julia Smokes. So I'm like, I'll do it. And they're like, what do you know about MMA? I'm like, I was watching MMA before people knew what UFC was. And they're like, all right. So I went out and I was just corner man. And Masha comes back after the first round and her hair's up and the hair's like half in, half out. And she's fighting Janai Kai, she's a dude, kicks for days. She's a monster. Yeah. And I'm trying to get the hair tie out of Masha's hair and it's stuck bad. And she's like, rip it out. And I go, not doing that. And I'm like, Masha, it's fucking stuck. And she's like, rip it out. And I go, not a chance. And she just reaches up with her gloves and goes, and she hands it back to me and it's snapped in half. She ripped her whole hair out and I'm like, you are a psychopath. And I look at, fun fact, both people sponsored by you. I look over and at Sam Laturn, and Sam Laturn's like this. Her eyes are just bugged out. And I go, I need a hair tie. And Sam's like trying to scramble to get a hair tie. And she goes out. She does another round. She comes back. And when she's in it, I'm putting her hair up in a bun. And the crowd's like, yo, you're really good at that. And at the time I had long hair. And I was like, I have a lot of practice. Like, and I put her hair up. Yeah. But I actually think some of the hair tie was still in her hair. And I had to put another one over it. I do not know. I don't want to know what she had to go through to get her hair out of that. Because her hair's curly too and like thick. Yeah. It was, I was like, I am so sorry, Mom. Rip it out. I'm like, nope.
She is so much fun to be around, though.
Yeah, when she's in character, though, man,
Oh yeah.
look out. Yeah, but that was my experience with there. But I was just about to say that promotion would probably be cool to be like, hey, we'll sponsor your show, and they're on IWTV. So if like a talent comes in, a female talent, and you're like, hey, you don't want to use your actual ring gear because maybe there's like chains or something on it, you can use a Wrestling Over Everything sports bra.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be a cool little connection you guys can do. What else do you look? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it, brother.
What else are you guys looking to do for the future of your brand?
Just trying to grow it. I get asked a lot about being asked by wrestlers about being sponsored athletes and stuff. And I've got a new program that I'm working out with a couple of them just to see if it'll work. I've got some guys I'm just trying to test some stuff out on. And as of right now, it's working with a couple of them. So hopefully it'll work and it'll eventually lead them to actually being sponsored athletes and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what? So if because hopefully, and I have a lot of friends that wrestle, if they were listening to this and they said, "I love what the brand's about. I love the logo, the whole nine," and they want to do a sponsored athlete thing, what would the steps need to be for someone to do that? And what are some of the the requirements? Like what does the process look like?
So basically all I care about is them wearing it and tagging us and stuff and just promoting the brand. That's the biggest thing. We've had so many people wrestling's full of carnies. Most people just want the free shit and don't want to do anything for it.
Yep.
And it sucks when you're when all your money's because it's all out of mine and my wife's pocket, trying to get something started and you can't get someone to share a picture.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a mutual agreement to where it makes sense for us to do.
So do you guys, if you guys come up with an agreement, do you guys send them a bundle of stuff and they wear it and when they're at shows they rock it and stuff?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We're doing something and it's only working for I've given this opportunity to 3 or 4 guys. And I don't know if it's going to work. So I don't want to just be like, hey, this is what we're doing now, because I don't know if it's going to work or not. But I've got something that I'm in the works of trying to figure out if it makes sense for me and other people. Dustin Waller is one of the guys that's jumped on board recently and is trying to help me work through this to see if it works. So really basically he's just hit me up and we'll talk about it and see if it's something that fits.
Cool. Well, there you go. If anyone's interested, do it. Or you could do. How about just buy a shirt and be like, hey, I respect your brand, and I'm going to tag you anyway, and then maybe he'll see you and be like, oh, that's kind of dope, and then go that route. Because
some of that's happened too. That's where that's the Kelsey Reagan aspect. That's where it came from. She met us at Mission and bought a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, CR Meeta says he's interested. Maybe between me and CR, you'll have commentator and podcasters rocking your stuff. I've been wearing it for a minute. I love the hat.
You have,
but I wear the hat backwards all the time. So every time I'm in photos wearing the hat, it's not seen very often. I need a pin to have on it, or a hat that has the design here, because because I'm always wearing it backwards. I just feel weird with it forward. I don't know. I'm weird like that.
We got 2 new stickers that we got them in. We got one of them in today, and we got another new design on the sticker that we're waiting on them to send us. But basically, you've got the black sticker with the white writing.
Yeah, yep. It's on the former podcast table. Yep.
New sticker is white background, black writing.
Yeah,
and then we got a actual design sticker that we're gonna release as soon as it gets here.
I'm a big fan of the Pride shirt. I think I'm gonna be snagging that one next. That's probably what I'm gonna grab. That's a really cool one.
We dropped that at the Collective.
Yeah, the bleach shirts are cool too. You just put a stencil on the shirt and spray it with bleach.
Yep,
that's dope.
And then it's not like the screen print stuff where it'll crack and stuff. Just don't crack.
Yeah, because it's just you just sprayed. You just sprayed it on a stencil. Yeah.
You just almost killed yourself.
I did. I almost destroyed my whole production faking a spray bottle. Yeah, you should look into pins too. I know pins can be a little expensive, but pins are really cool. I'm a pin guy.
I've got them all over my fanny pack. So.
Yeah, same here. That's exactly somewhere around here. I have an FTR pin on it and stuff. But yeah, man, I love what you're doing. I hope the brand continues to grow.
Appreciate that.
Is there any people that like are on your list, you're like, man, I would love to have them as sponsored athletes, but maybe you're still waiting or pending, or you haven't worked? Because for me, like interview wise, there's people I'd love to interview. I just don't have the balls to ask them yet. Because you know what I mean? Like, is there anyone like that for you on the scene?
So I've been in talks with Lindsay Dorado.
Oh, he's amazing. I love Lindsay. I worked with him a couple months ago.
Jay Rios. Because Jay, like, he wears our stuff and tags us and stuff. And I'm like, hey, let's pin this down, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, you go to Mexico a lot. Let's pin this down.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Austin, I've been talking to him for like 2 years.
That's my guy.
I love it. He's one of the nicest human beings I've ever met.
And he works so fucking hard.
Yeah. Good dude.
And Gia would be another one, a backstage person.
Gia's great. She's from Mississippi, and I love the fact she went to the same school my sister went to, graduated from.
I had a friend who watches her on Impact, and then they met her over the weekend. And like, I didn't realize how thick her accent was. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, she's super Southern.
Yeah. She's amazing.
Just off the top of my head, that's the 4 that I've been like talking to about that.
It's just a simple logo. Like, it's awesome. I love it. The simplicity is what caught my attention.
So it came from, like the actual logo. It came from Newfound Glory. Like Newfound Glory has a song called "My Friends Over You."
Yep. And
they were posting all these pictures of tattoos of like people have gotten of their songs and stuff. And I saw it and I was like, "This is the greatest." Because we were trying to figure out the first shirt logo, and it actually just became the logo of the company.
I love the fact I'm wearing a wrestling brand for a guy's mom, and it was inspired by a punk emo band. This is like, did we just become best friends? Like, do we go do karate in the garage right now?
We can. We got to move the bed so we can have more room for activity.
Literally, he just says, "Oh my God, I fucking love it even more." Yeah, we need to build bunk beds, man. This is crazy. Yeah. Unbelievable.
But that's where it came from. I was just scrolling through Instagram one day at my shoot job, and I was like, and I went home immediately. I left my office and went home and got on my kid's computer and started making the design.
Yeah.
And I sent it to like 5 people that were like there at the beginning. And I was like, what do y'all think? And everybody's like, oh, this dope, dude.
Yeah.
And it just snowballed from there.
Yeah, it means so much. Like I know it's something that's thrown around a lot in locker rooms and thrown around a lot. We're wrestling's a family, and there is a lot of bullshit, and that has been used as carny for so long. But when you do find your community, when you do find that connection, it couldn't be more of the truth. You know, just like. There's nothing like, and it's not. I'm not gonna say this is just wrestling. It's in the music scene. It's in any. If you're into something, this community is there for you. You just got to find it, where people just are so bonded over one thing, and you're going to find people with mutual interests who just truly, truly care about something. I guess it's just what makes the wrestling business a little more special is because of the scrutiny it gets, as well as people can't get behind the fact of it's professional wrestling and the kayfabe, and is it the F word, or is, you know what I mean? And it's just like, it's more than that. It's theater, it's art, it's rock and roll, it's hip hop, it's everything just smashed into one, and all these cultures and people that come together, and it really is everything. And if you could figure out the wrestling world, and if you learn the backstage stuff and figure out all that stuff, the rest of the world's kind of easy.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was doing an interview with John Davis, and we were talking about it and all that, and he made a comment in it. He was like, "It's bigger than the bumps."
Mm-hmm.
Like wrestling is bigger than bumps. It's the family that you make, because you are up and down the road with these people.
Yep.
And you spend more time with them, for the guys that are out there actually doing this and traveling and making money, and this is how they make their living. You're on the road more than you're at home.
Yeah.
And so these people become your family, and it's more than just the bumps. And like, I think I might be wrong, but I think it was Jim Ross said, if you leave this business with five people that you can consider your real friends, you've done something. Yeah. And like, I truly feel like that. Like, the people that you come into this business with, like, are the people that are supposed to have your back when you're on your high and your low.
Yep.
And everywhere in between. Because like if wrestling is a family, like we're supposed to be here to help each other. I used to have this kid that would send me messages of people that were starting Instagram pages or Facebook pages, and they were close to our name, and I'm like, bro, there's enough room for everybody, man.
Yeah.
As long as they're not blatantly taking my designs and selling them, there's enough room.
Yeah.
I mean, I just told you that my inspiration was from something that Matt Cross did. Like, it's not that I was trying to rip off Matt Cross, but
you're honoring him.
I got the inspiration from him. Like, I sat there and me and him talked about hardcore bands, punk rock bands, straight edge. Like, we talked about all that stuff. Even though I just drank a beer, I'm not straight edge or nothing like that. But we sat there and talked about it. My kid was in super awe of the fact that Havoc was standing in front of him.
Yeah.
Or was it Havoc? Is that what he was in? The motorcycle, the where they wrestled in California, where he wore the mask. Son of Havoc.
He did that in Lucha Underground.
Yeah. Like Dash was like, oh, this is so cool. Like Son of Havoc sitting in front of me, and I'm like, yep, that's Matt Cross.
I still have that every now and then too. I go to a show and they're like, hey, you're gonna help with the meet and greet, and you're gonna hang out with this person, and I'm like, oh boy, and then you start talking, you're like, oh yeah, they're ever like. Yep. It's just a cool experience where it's like you kind of break down like, yeah, you respect what they've done so much in their art and their creativity, and then they've made it, and it's a beautiful thing. But
it was like that when we met Rod and Simmons. Like, yeah. I had a Florida State hat on. That's all we talked about was Florida State football. He didn't care about, like, he wasn't like asking me questions about the wrestling or like the company or nothing like that. All he wanted to talk was about how horrible Florida State was.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a great thing too. If you can talk to wrestlers about other things besides wrestling, that's going to spark their interest even more, because when you're on the road, 90% of your conversation is pro wrestling.
Yeah, for sure. It was awesome though. So I mean, like, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So, like I said, all the links are below. If anyone has any questions in the chat, please. We have a couple minutes here. I don't want to keep my guest too long on a Monday night. Like I said, he has kids and it's getting late. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Let's make it quick, and we'll answer. We'll get a few of your questions in. Also, make sure if you are here and it's your first time or you're watching back later, to hit that subscribe. We're on the quest of 300 subscribers. I mean, the goal is 1K, but baby steps. And if you are listening, if you're listening on the audio platform, leave a review. It means a lot, and we'll start reading some reviews next show. And I normally plug my merch, but ignore mine today and then go over to Wrestling Over Everything. Too, I mean, mine's in the links, but I have so when I first did this, we did Tornado Tag Podcast. And I had Tornado Tag, and I had a beer one, and I had 5 different shows, and trying to market them all and do them all and social media for all of them, I was having an aneurysm, and I could not do it anymore. So I was like, I'm just going to do this, like, have people come in and we could do virtual stuff, because my kitchen became a studio, and then my wife had no kitchen, and then when she came home from work and wanted to eat, and I had 8 people in my house, and I have a guest, and she's trying to tiptoe around, it just became, 4 years was good. I learned a lot from it, but now rebranding and restarting, and then doing the name, which is crazy now, because now people call me ABJ instead of Anthony or Tony, and it's only been out 2 months, so like, hey ABJ, it's like, wow, blows my mind. But there's a I don't know if you've seen the sticker where it says I heart A and then a little space and then BJ podcast. I was like, and that's the one that everyone loves the most. Everyone's like, that's hilarious. So
I mean, if you send me some, I will put it all over the place.
Yeah, I'll send you a couple. I'll have you send me your address. I'll send you a couple over.
I got you.
I appreciate it. Anything you want to close out or get out to the people?
WrestlingOverEverything.com.
Yeah, order your stuff. Do you have any codes or anything going on right now?
The IWTV, as soon as it pops off, it'll be a 10% off. It's IWTV. Any of our sponsored athletes is 10% off everything in the store. So use them. They love it when you use them.
Yeah. Oh, so you just use the sponsored athlete's name and the code?
Yeah, their code. Yep.
Oh, that's how. So, okay, that's beautiful. There you go.
So I can keep up with. That's the way I keep up with what each person sells.
I love that. That's really cool.
And August would beat my ass. He's probably going to come to Mississippi if I don't say this. He's the highest selling guy right now.
He's the highest selling. August is. All right. I love that.
If I don't mention that, he will come beat my ass.
He'll come find you. So there you go. Use the offer codes of your favorite wrestlers. Is it just their first names or?
Every one of them has a different one. If you follow, most of them have put it all over their socials.
Okay.
I can go on my phone and find them. It's a lot.
No,
There's
no, no. I'm just trying to find out the
27
easiest way to.
people.
Yeah. But yeah, and then like I said, the links are below. Just click on the sponsored, and the cool thing too, if you're a sponsored athlete, if you go to the sponsored athlete tabs, it literally tells you a bio about them. It has their Instagrams, their Facebooks, their Twitters, the YouTubes, so you can go and follow and support all those people. So you can do that as well, and I'm sure they would really appreciate it. And let's keep continuing this industry of professional wrestling and finding more people to love it. I'm happy that my third interview, and I didn't interview like an active wrestler right now, but a former, but in the wrestling business, but a clothing line. So I love these conversations. If you want to be a guest as well, my link tree, the first tab is sign up to be a guest. So just fill out that form and I'll get you on the list. I do have some people. If you are not a wrestling fan, please stick around because I do have a lot more wrestling interviews coming. But I think the idea of hearing the interview is hearing what the people go through in this industry and what they do. It's not so much the wrestling, it's just how they express their art. So even if it's not your thing, I don't expect to turn you into a wrestling fan, but everyone has cool stories and everyone does cool things and creates awesome art and products. So support those people. Once again, thank you so much, Chuck.
I got one
for your
question
time.
for you.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
What's your favorite wrestling match of all time?
Ooh, shit. I'm torn. Now, the match, the one is a match that means a lot to me, and my favorite wrestler lost, and the other one means a lot to me, and my favorite wrestler won. The one he won wasn't. After a while, the match does kind of get old because once you get older and you're a smarter wrestling fan, you're like, oh my god, they're going to go an hour. The Iron Man match, Shawn versus Brett, is probably my favorite match of all time. The match I can watch more consistently because it's not an hour with the overtime and all that gaga. Razor Shawn ladder match, first time WrestleMania. Yeah.
Second question. I need you to send me this though.
Yeah.
I'm interviewing you now.
Yeah.
Second question. What does wrestling over everything mean to you?
Well, now after the interview, I love the fact that it expresses everything I love about the business, and you put wrestling over everything if you're into this, and the fact that it does have the meaning of your mother and family, and how just generational building with this business and passing it on to the next person, and I think that's beautiful.
Because John told me a long time ago, it was probably the first time I ever met him, and I was like, hey, you're a big, mean asshole, but I need to cuddle under this arm.
Oh, I think we might have a little technical difficulties here. Oh, if I lost him now, this would be depressing. Can you hear me? Let's see if this works. Oh, no. We'll see if he pops back in here in a second. CR, if you have any questions, we'll give you guys 2 or 3 minutes here if you have a question to ask in the chat. And hopefully he could pop back in here, and we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. I appreciate all you guys who are watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe if it's your first time. Share this out, and thank you so much. Thank you for seeing it. It's been so good. That means a lot. He just sent me an Instagram message. Maybe he's gonna pop back in. Or his computer exploded. I don't know what happened. His computer died. Oh, bummer. All right, well, I will end it there. Thank you guys so much for everything. I'm going to get to him, but I want to thank once again Chuck for wrestling over everything. In the interview, I have had interviewed him before on our Tornado Tag page, but 3 episodes in, I know I missed last week. I'm not committing to a weekly podcast because I think that commitment and always trying to stay consistent and drive myself crazy is not the way to go. If something in life comes up or if I have a busy week, we just don't get an interview. But just stick with me. I promise I will have more stuff. I'm going to start doing more stuff on the road. I know it sounds really stupid, but I made a couple bucks and I bought a new tripod that I can take to shows that's not huge and it fits with my little tiny camera. I'm trying to make everything smaller and easier so it's easier for me to bring into places. But when I go to shows, I'm going to have more content when I get there. But he did say to everyone, thank you. He's sorry his computer died. But just once again, I appreciate you for coming on and doing everything. Thank you all so much. Please go support Wrestling Over Everything. Go buy a T-shirt and use one of those sponsor code athletes or use IWTV in the checkout code below. Thank you all so much. Here's some music by Billy Trey, and we'll see you guys next time. Check the social medias. Next guest will be popping up very soon.